right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for showing up. This is a 60-minute prenatal class, and my name is Kristen, and I've got myself set up to start in a reclined position. I spent a lot of time at the computer yesterday, so feeling particularly closed off in the chest. So you could start with your arms open nice and wide over pillows or child's pose or seated pose or shavasana, you choose. I'm going to continue reading Melody Beattie's Journey to the Heart, and yesterday was the day I did not teach, but I did read this excerpt, and I'd like to read it today. So this is from yesterday, June 15th. The title is It's Okay to Not Know. Sometimes we don't know what we want, what's next, or what we think our lives will look like down the road. That is okay. If the answer is I don't know, then say it. Say it clearly and be at peace with not knowing. Sometimes the reason we don't know what's coming is going to be very different than what we've experienced before. Even if we knew, we couldn't relate to it because it's that new and that different. It's a surprise. Sometimes the reason we don't know is that it would be too difficult, too confusing for us right now, would take us out of the present moment, cause us to worry and fuss about how we could control it or what we could do to make it happen. Knowing would make us afraid, put us on overload, or take us away from the right now. Sometimes our souls know, but it's not just time for our conscious mind to know quite yet. Sometimes knowing would take us out of the very experience we need to go through to discover the answer we are looking for. And sometimes the process of learning to trust, the process of going through an experience and coming to trust that we will ultimately discover our own truth is actually more important than knowing. So in this prenatal yoga class and in the world of labor and delivery and parenting, there's so much that is unknown. So I want that reading to sit with you throughout our practice today and settle into what might feel best in your body. So take some big breaths in and out. Letting go of any thoughts, feelings, or sensation that you might have brought to your yoga mat with you that would serve you to better set that aside for the next 60 minutes. If you chose this position on your back here with a bolster or pillows in between, let your shoulders roll down towards the earth. And let your heart open to make space for that unknown. Space for the wonderful things that haven't happened yet. We'll take a few more breaths here. Let's take them together as a community. We'll draw our next inhale through our nose. Open mouth, exhale. Good, breathe in. And breathe out. Good, deepest breath yet. And let it go. Remembering that it's okay to let your breath be heard. Good. Let's start to slide our arms down towards our body here, and we'll take both hands to our belly or baby. Bend into the knees. Soles of the feet will come about as wide as your mat, and let your knees rest against one another. We're going to take a few diaphragmatic breaths here. So this feeling when pregnant should be that you are sort of hugging your baby in equally. So from the top of the belly to the bottom of the belly, and hugging baby in towards the spine, almost as if a corset or I was wrapping a towel around and pulling it from the back. So bring hands to baby here. We take a full breath in. Exhale, find your SH sound. That long, slow exhale, pulling baby in. Good. 2 more. Inhale. Let baby and belly soften. And exhale. Good. Soften here one last time. And exhale. So taking that exhale a little bit slower than you think you can go. Good. So we can soften here. Bring your hands down to your sides. Slide the feet back underneath the knees. And let's just take windshield wiper back and forth. Good. Using this as a nice way to massage the seat, the low back. Good. Let's take one more to each side. Good. And next time you are off either side, it doesn't matter. We'll roll off to our side body and then push on up to a tall seat. You can scoot these pillows out of the way, or perhaps you find a seat on one of the pillows and keep the block close by. Hands will come to knees here, tall spine, and let's just start to move with our breath here. Some big half circles or full circles, clockwise, counterclockwise, does not matter. Just feeling this out in our body. So for those tuning in early at 6 a.m., when this class is scheduled, taking time to warm up our body. So it might feel a little bit differently if you are taking this practice midday or towards the end of your day. Good. Let's come up to a tall seat here. Shrug the shoulders up towards your ears and then take a nice roll down your back. Good. Shrug them up one more time, and then take that roll down the back. Good. Let's take right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Tall spine, keeping baby hugged in here. Just make this about the upper chest and back. Gaze over the left shoulder. Good. Come on back through center. Right hand behind, left hand to right knee, tall spine. Good, we'll come on back to center, open up the side body here, left hand to the side, right arm reaching, keeping your right glute on your mat. So really accentuating that spot into the right side oblique into the spaces in between the ribs. Good. Float the right hand down. Same thing on the other side. Feel that side body open as you create more space for babe here. Good. Float that arm down. Both hands walk behind you here. Roll the shoulders back. And keeping baby hugged in nice and tight, just shift your gaze up. So it's easy to do this with thrusting the low ribs out and the chest out. I want you to keep everything hugged in nice and tight. Good. So we're focusing on opening up the throat and the upper chest here. Awesome job. Let's roll on over to all fours here, continuing to feel this out in our body. And I know my body is feeling a little bit slow this morning, so just take it as it feels good in your body. Rounds of cat and cow, hip sways, hip circles, staying upright on your wrists or down onto your forearms. There is no wrong choice here. Let your breath and your curiosity be your guide here of what feels good in the moment, honoring what you and your baby need. Good, I'm going to shift towards you here. And let's take the left leg out to the side. Right hand and right knee are staying down here. So you'll see with my left leg out, my toes are facing the same way as my gaze. And the outside of the left foot is glued down to the mat. I want you now to come down onto forearms. And just feel this great stretch to the inside of the left thigh. Roll out your wrists here a little bit. We'll give them a little bit of a break. Good. Now let's come back up on to both hands. Left arm will reach up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, thread it through between your right knee and your right wrist. Inhale to open. And exhale, good. One more time. We're gonna take one more movement in this position. Good, thread it down through. And now reach it on forward, good. And exhale, sink on back. I want you to keep that left foot planted on the mat though. Inhale, reach. And exhale, good. Let's take it one more time. Good, back to all fours. Your left knee meets your right. Good job. And just take a little bit of time here. So the inside of my left thigh feels different than the inside of my right. So see how that feels in your body, and let's take it off to the other side. Right leg extends here, and roll the foot out. So your toes are straight forward. And here already my right side must be a little bit tighter than my left because even with my arms upright, I feel this deep stretch. So you can certainly come down onto forearms if that feels okay. And you take a subtle drop feeling of the right hip and feel the inside open up here. Come back to hands. And as you inhale, the right arm sweeps up towards the ceiling, gaze follows, exhale, bring it through. Good, 3 total here. Last one. Good, reach it forward. And then sink it back. Keep the right foot glued to the mat. Inhale, reach. Lengthen and exhale, drop the hips on back. Good, last one here. Good, reach it forward one more time. Back to tabletop, hands and knees, good work. Let's find a quick child's pose here. Big toes come towards one another, knees spread wide. Certainly pull in a pillow or a blanket or a block if you need it. Connect your head with one of those props or your mat. And just take a little rock of the head side to side. Good. Slide your hands back underneath your shoulders. Push down to lift the torso up. Good. Walk the hands forward about a handprint, and we'll tuck our toes, hips come high. So as your pregnancy progresses, this downward dog or gentle inversion might not feel so great in your body, and that's okay. Take tabletop or try it out. If this does not feel good, certainly take another position that does. Every single part of our practice can be modified. Good, let the head be heavy. Good, opening up your calves and your hamstrings. Gaze forward and walk your feet up towards your hands. Take a halfway lift. We find this long spine and finding baby, again, hugged up and in, but we've got a little bit more weight here hanging down. So that's why it's really nice to bring hands to either thighs to traction to make that spine nice and long, or hands to shins. Come on back down to your fold. Come on back up. Half lift. Good, and back down. One more time here. And exhale. Good. Slowly, let's roll it up. One vertebrae at a time. Kind of rounding over your baby here. Good. Once we arrive, let's take those shoulders up towards the ears again. And then roll them down and back. Good. We'll find our sun salutations here. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. So I shifted to a wider stance here. Always making sure you've got room for baby. Inhaling for a halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, step the feet back. Let's drop down to the knees. First round of push-ups here. Rolling forward, take a wide placement with your hands here. We're going to really work on the shoulder blades and pulling. So as we come down here, pulling the shoulder blades together like we're squeezing a pencil. And as we push up, shoulder blades push away from each other, pushing the floor away. Good. So think of that full range of motion. Good. You might adjust your stance as you need. Good. Use your breath. Inhale to lower and exhale to push on up. Good. Let's take 3 more. Last 2. And 1. Good. Find your melting heart pose. So shift the hands just a little bit to walk them towards the top edge of your mat. Drop the chest down. Good. Walk the hands back and we'll tuck our toes to find our way to downward facing dog. Good. Full breath in and out. Gaze forward, bend the knees, and step the feet on up to the top. Find a halfway lift. And forward fold, losing my microphone here. Good. Inhale, we will reach and rise all the way up. And exhale, forward fold all the way back down. Inhaling for a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back, this time right to downward facing dog. Breathe in and let go. Inhale, gaze forward, bend the knees. As you exhale, step the feet to the top. Halfway lift, forward fold. Inhale, rise. And exhale, fold. Halfway lift, hands plant, step the feet back. Let's take some tricep push-ups this time. So drop the knees down, narrow placement with the hands, so about shoulder width. Roll forward here, inhale, keeping elbows tucked in at your side, and exhale, push on up. Good. And my range of motion is not as large for this. I'm sort of nursing a shoulder thing. I don't know what it is. Feels okay in regular push-ups. These feel a little bit harder. Let's take 2 more. Good. Awesome. Right away, down dog. Gaze forward, bend the knees. As you exhale, step the feet to the top. Halfway lift and forward fold. Inhale to rise. Let's find our chair pose here. So drop on in. I'm going to fix my hair in chair pose, multitask. Good. So thinking about dropping the tailbone just a little bit. Good. All right. I've got, if you've got longer hair, there's nothing worse than a crappy hair tie. Well, that's what I've got this morning. Good. So as we sink down into our chair pose, let's just lift one heel at a time. So lift the right heel. Good. Drop it. So nothing else should move about your chair pose here. Just working into some strength in the thighs and calves. Right heel. So we're kind of like marching it out here. Awesome. Start to feel that burn. Let's take 2 more on each side. For that last round, drop a little lower. Right heel lifts and left heel lifts. Good. Forward fold. Let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Let's find our low lunge here. So shoot the left leg back. You can heel toe the right foot out. So hands will come to the inside of the right leg. As you inhale here, I want you to shine your heart forward. And exhale, let's straighten into the right leg. Good. Round the spine. Inhale, bend the right knee. Heart shines forward. And exhale, straighten into the right leg. Good, let's take that one more time. Inhale, heart and gaze, lift, and exhale, round over your baby. Good, bring it back forward to that lunge. Let's take it into a side lunge here. So pivot, and let's try to take some balance. Good. So we're on the ball mound of the right foot, left leg is extended, and we're taking that nice stretch, just as we did on all fours earlier, to the inside of the left leg. Good work. All right, hands come down. Let's pivot towards the left foot here. So bending into the left knee, and we'll come on back and step the left foot back to meet your right downward facing dog. Take a full breath in here and full breath out. Inhale, shift the gaze forward, bend the knees. Exhale, step the feet to the top. Finding a halfway lift, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Sink back into your chair pose. Did I lose you? Uh-oh. Amanda, I'm sorry if I lost you. Okay, we're back. And I'm muted. Unmute. Sorry about that. Good thing. I don't know how long I was unmuted or how long that the Wi-Fi here has been a little tricky. So sorry about that. Drop back into your chair pose. We've got that same sequence on the other side. So I want you to drop the seat and we'll practice lifting the heels. So right heel lifts. Good job. And lowers. Left lifts and lowers. Good. Let's take 2 more times here. For that last round, drop your seat a little bit lower. Good, forward fold, let it go. Inhale for a half lift. Low lunge, left foot forward, right toes all the way back. And you can bring your hands to the inside of the left foot. Inhale, heart pulls through. Exhale, straighten into the left leg. Good, take that a few times with your breath here. One more here. And round into the spine. Good, so come back to the low lunge. Both hands again are to the inside of the left foot. We pivot towards the long edge of the mat. And maybe you find some balance on this side. Hands to heart. Lengthening the right leg here. Good, let's find our Malasana. So I'm going to grab my block here, prop it up at the center of my mat, push down into the left leg to lift the hips. And you can take some side to side movement. That always feels really good in my body. And then just start to bring those feet in, drop the seat. Good. All right, arms come out to the inside of the knees. Let's take some neck circles here. Maybe just one ear to one shoulder, or just side to side. Ah, good. Take the right hand to the left, and then we're going to inhale, open right arm, and stay here in this twist. Use the left arm to help you into this twist a little bit. Good. Let's float the right arm to the inside of the right knee. Left hand comes over, and inhale, open to the other side. Good work. Bring the left arm in. Good. Let's push down into our feet to lift the seat. Find a wide leg forward fold here. So heel toe those feet on out. Let your head be heavy here. You could reach for that block if you like a little bit more support. And just take, maybe hips come side to side. All right, we'll pivot towards the right foot here. Step the right foot back to meet the left, this time downward facing dog. Take a breath in and let it go. Gaze forward, bend your knees. As you exhale, step the feet to the top. Halfway lift. Forward fold, let it go. Good. Inhale, reach and rise. And exhale, forward fold it back down. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back. Good. We'll take a full breath in and full breath out. Good. Step the right foot on forward. So help the right foot towards the top edge of your mat. We're going to power it on up for our high lunge here. So torso lifts over your hips, shoulders over hips, arms reach up. Let's sweep the left arm forward, right arm back, come into this nice open twist. Keep the left heel lifted here. Good. Bring the left hand, or right hand, pardon me, to the left thigh. Left arm reaches up. Whew, this is hard for me. Good. Let's unravel out of this to warrior two. Unwind, set up. That long stance in the warrior two. Leaning forward here, let's find your side angle first. So right forearm to right thigh, left arm reaches up and over. Just as we did when we were on all fours, I want you to think about sealing the outside of the left foot to the mat. Good. Keep that right knee stacked over the right ankle. Good. Come on back to reverse your warrior. We're going to keep moving through these here. Back to side angle on your exhale. Inhale, open up to reverse peaceful warrior. Good. Exhale. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath and movement. Inhale back and exhale forward. Nice. Last one here. Good. Come on back to your warrior two. We're finding balance here. The unknown, half moon. I like to reach for my block. I'm going to place it in front of the right foot. Slowly, mindfully, we start to bring right hand down. Hop that left foot forward just a few hops. Good. All right. That left leg lifts. Flex the foot. You can always take this against a wall for more support. Good. Left side oblique. Fire that area up. So in doing that, I lost my balance a little bit. Good, you guys. Let's slowly come back to our warrior two. Good. Reverse your warrior here. Come back to warrior two. Straightening into the right leg. Let's take our star pose. So shift the right toes. Same direction as the left. Arms open up. Good. Bring hands to hips here. Let's find our high lunge on the other side. So just pivot the left toes toward the opposite short edge of the mat. Right heel lifts. Arms up overhead. So again, we've got our shoulders over the hips here. Come into that open twist. Right arm forward, left arm back. Keep the back side of the right leg lifting towards your ceiling. Drop it down. So left hand to right thigh, right arm reaches up. Challenge the balance here. Good. Open, unravel to your warrior two on the other side. Oh, good job. Arms extend in opposite directions. Find that extended side angle. So left forearm to left thigh, right arm reaches. Again, seal the outside of the right foot to your mat. Great work. Come on back to reverse your warrior. Feels so good in the spine. Exhale to side angle. Good. Let's take 3 more rounds of breath and movement. Go at your pace. We'll meet back up in warrior two when this warrior dance is complete. Good. Back to warrior two if you're not there already. Good. I always forget my block. All right, we're going into half moon. So start to shift your gaze. Left hand comes down to the floor. Right side lifts. Use your right side body to keep that body lifted. Good, and that leg lifted. Right toes flexed. Keep the gaze where you find that balance of effort and ease. Each side is so vastly different. This is my wobbly side. Good, come on back, nice and slow and controlled to warrior two. Find your star pose, so straighten into the left leg, left toe same direction as the right, arms reach, gaze and heart lift. Good, all right, we're going to find a little bit of triangle sequence and then goddess. So shift the right toes, and we're in this prep for triangle pose. Hips shift, right arm reaches, right arm comes down, left arm reaches up. Good, feel this out. After challenging our balance in our half moon. Good. So just as we did in our half moon, I want you to think about using that side body in this. So use the left side obliques to lift you out, reverse your triangle. Right arm reaches, on back, open up the right side. Good, bring hands to hips, shift the right toes. Good, and shift the left, triangle on the other side, hips. Shift back, left arm reaches. And feel out, embrace the differences. Often we don't take triangle one after the other from right side to left. So it feels very different on this side for me. Not necessarily in a good way, but I'm trying to leave the judgment aside here. All right, so I'm letting my right side body really activate here. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Reopen your left side. Good, bring hands to hips. Let's find our star pose here. So left toes shift, arms reach. Come into your goddess. So heels will move on in. Drop your seat here. Good. Let's start with our arms reaching out and just take some movement side to side into your spine. Letting the movement kind of take over here in what feels good. Starting to work those thighs. Good, find some stillness here in the center. Let's find our eagle arm. So let the right arm underneath, wrap underneath, elbows lift and palms connect. Hands can always rest on your shoulders as well. And now find that organic, creative movement. Oh, feels good to stretch the side bodies here. Good. Keep those thighs working. Come back to your eagle arms. Open up. Good. Stay in this. Left arm underneath your right. Eagle arms on the other side. So resist the temptation, the unknown of how much longer will I keep you here. Great work. Come back to find stillness. Lift the elbows. Open up the arms here. Good. Hands to thighs. Feel your strength here. Let's just rest the right forearm on the right thigh. Left arm reaches up and over. Good. Bring the arm down and then circle it back up. Good. Slowly move through this. Goalpost arms. Left forearm to left thigh. Right arm reaches. Good. Circle the arm down. And then back on up and over. Good. Whew, thighs are feeling this. Come to goalpost arms. Good. And just take it side to side. Working side body opening to create more space for baby here. More room for breath, more room for baby. Let's take one more to each side. Back up to those goalpost or cactus arms. Good, straighten the legs, reach, reach, reach towards your ceiling. And now elbows come into side body, bend into the knees again. Good, two more. exhale, bring it down. Nice, good. One more. Stay in it here. So your elbows are in at your side, and I just want you to take little pulses of the hands back. You probably won't even see that my arms are moving, pulling the shoulder blades towards one another, keeping baby held in nice and tight, just opening up the chest and heart space here as we pull shoulder blades towards one another here for 10. Good, drop deeper into this. We've got 7, 6, 5. Good job, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent, one last stretch here, hands to thighs, hinge at the hips. So drop the torso parallel or towards parallel with the floor. Drop the right shoulder, gaze over the left. It always feels really good for me. I hope it does for you too. Good, come back through center, left shoulder drops. Gaze over the right. Good, back to center here. Whew. Hands walk their way up your thighs. Inhale to straighten the legs. Good, and let's just step the left foot up to meet the right. Tadasana at the top of our mat. Good, roll the shoulders back. Palms shine forward. Breathe in and breathe out. Take left hand to heart, right hand to your baby. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Final sun salutation here. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, nice and slow. Forward fold. Inhaling for a halfway lift. Exhale, let's plant our hands, step the feet back. Both ankles cracked there. Good, drop on down to your knees. Let's take one more final round of push-ups. So your choice. Hands nice and wide or the tricep push-ups with more narrow. All right, let's take 15. You've got this. So your pace. Yes, you can. See yourself as strong here. I'm about halfway here. Use your breath. I've got 5 more. Yes, you can. Great job, you guys. Let's come on back to child's pose. Pull a pillow or block in if you like. Good. For this, I always like to bring my elbows to the mat and then palms come together. And palms actually then come behind my head. This is a great stretch into the armpits and the triceps. Good. Then maybe release, let your arms come down to the mat. Take a little wiggle of the hips here. Good, let's lift on up to our tabletop and just invite some movement that might feel good. For me, I'm always inclined to kind of drop my hips. Again, respecting what feels best in your body. And we'll come into hip opener of choice. So I'm going to reach for my block. I'll start with helping my left foot up. You can certainly take a figure 4. You could take fire log pose, stacking both shins or calves on one another. This is what my body craves when I've got a little bit of time to open into the hips. You can always, I think what feels good too is Coming to the outside edge and dropping the knee open. One hand, right hand to the mat. Left hand helps that thigh open. Good, pretty intense there, so feel it out. And when you're ready, shift to the other side. Take some transitional movements. Good. And then drop on in, settle in. Good. You might drop that side open as well. Good. Come on back to tabletop here. Good, and we'll just start to make our way down. Actually, let's take a seated twist first. So come just to a seat, and I want you to check in to see how you feel. And without judgment, we just notice how this twist compares to the beginning of class. So right hand to left knee, left hand behind. Good, gaze follows over the left shoulder. Good, come on back through center. Left hand to right knee. Gaze follows. Good, back to center, both hands behind. So again, keep baby hugged in nice and tight. Roll the shoulders back, and you might drop the gaze or drop the head to lift the gaze. Good, a really nice way to open up into our neck and throat here. All right, so now we will shift our way down towards the mat. So you might want to set your pillows and props up. I'm actually just going to take pillows because I am going to take legs up the wall. So I want you to check in to see if there's any other final movements that feel best for you and your baby. So I'm reclining onto the pillows here, and I'm just going to set up with a bridge. So lifting my seat, pushing down into my feet to lift my seat. And then I'm going to take arms out to the side, one by one here. I'll lift the legs. Good. And even if this feels too much, you could come to the edge of your couch or bed and then just rest your legs up against the couch or a chair or the bed. Really important as your pregnancy progresses to take some weight and reverse the blood flow. Really great for calming the central nervous system as well. Especially in the summertime if you are pregnant and you're finding your feet are swelling. Good. Let's let the feet lower if they lifted. And lift the hips to remove a pillow or the block if you took it. And maybe just take some sways side to side. Good. Checking in, my friends, is there any other movements that you're craving? Maybe soles of the feet together, knees opening up wide, or a twist here in the supine position. Take a few last breaths for movement. And then we'll settle in to our final rest. Take a full breath in with me here. Open mouth, exhale. Let it go. There is no work left to be done. And as you settle into your Shavasana, we will read the remainder, or read that excerpt one more time. The unknown. It is okay to not know. Sometimes we don't know what we want, what's next, or what we think our lives will look like down the road. That is okay. If the answer is I don't know, then say it. Say it clearly and be at peace with not knowing. Sometimes the reason we don't know is what's coming is going to be very different than anything we've experienced before. Even if we knew, we couldn't relate to it because it's new and different. It's a surprise. Sometimes the reason we don't know is that it would be too difficult or too confusing for us right now. It would take us out of the present moment, cause us to worry and fuss about how we could control it or what we would have to do to make it happen. Knowing would make us afraid, put us on overload, take us away from right now. Sometimes our souls know, but it's not just time for our conscious minds to know. Sometimes knowing would take us out of that very experience we need to go through to discover the answer we are looking for. And sometimes the process of learning to trust, the process of going through an experience and coming to trust that we will ultimately discover our own truth is more important than knowing. She closes with, the process of moving from what we don't know to what we are to learn is a process that can be trusted. It is how we grow and how we change. It's okay to not know. It's okay to let ourselves move into knowing. The lesson is trusting that we'll know when it is time. Take a full breath with me here. Open mouth, exhale. Good, breathe in. And breathe out. Last breath here. Let it go. Find movement. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, rock your head side to side. Maybe you find a full body stretch. In your time, we will meet in a tall seat. We'll take left hand over our heart and right hand to your baby. And we be patient with the unknown. We use our breath and our movement to find that patience. Good. We'll close with one collective breath here. So draw a nice big breath in through your nose. And exhale. Let it go. Good. Both hands join at heart. Thank you for moving and breathing and stepping into the unknown and sitting with the unknown and being patient with the unknown. As always, the light and love in me sees and honors the light and love in you. Namaste. Thank you so much. Have a safe and beautiful day. Bye.